This is Masechah Sanhedrin daf 24a Amud Aleph, and we're going to start lower down on the page from the Mishna, which begins. Amar lo, one litigant says to the other, Neeman Alai Abba, I will trust my father. Neeman Alai Avicha, or I will trust your father. As Rashi says, Leos Dayan, to be a judge, even though a relative of either litigant is generally disqualified from being a judge. If one litigant says to the other, I'll accept, then we'll trust them to be a judge and follow their judgment. Or Ne'amanim Alai Shlosha Rovai Bakar, or will accept three shepherds who were normally presumed to be invalid because they were not knowledgeable in halacha and Jewish law. So even so, if one litigant says to the other that will accept their judgment, Rav Meir Omer Yachol Lachsabo. Rav Meir says you can do this and you can follow their judgment, but at any time either litigant can retract and say this was not a judgment, a real court decision, and now I want to go to Beit Din. The Chachamim say Eino Yachol Lachsabo. Chachamim say that once you said that you're making that deal, then it's binding. And you can't retract, you can't go back to court. The court will say you are bound to follow the decision of the fathers or the shepherds. Second half of the Mishnah is a parallel situation. Someone owes a shvuah, an oath, to his friend. In other words, someone who has not enough evidence to force me to pay money, but has enough evidence to say that I have to take a shvuah, I have to swear that I'm not lying on my claim. V'amarlo, and one litigant said to the other, Dor li b'chaye roshcha, swear by the life of your head, swear on your life. In other words, if you just say you're swearing on your life, you don't have to evoke the name of God and take the full language of shvuah. If you just give me your word and swear in the language of an oath, that will be acceptable to me, and then I won't claim. I don't want you to have to take a full shvuah, a biblical shvuah. Rav Meir Omer Yachol Lachsabo. Here too, Rav Meir says, if you did that, you could still come back later into Beit Din and say, he owes me a real shvuah. The Chachamim Omer, the Chachamim say, Ein Yachol Lachsabo. Here too, Chachamim say that your agreement is binding, and you can't go back on your word, and you can't request another shvuah because that's it. We're going to learn one line of the Gemara. Amar Rav Dimi, Breid Rav Nachman, Breid Rav Yosef. Rav Dimi, the son of Rav Nachman, the son of Rav Yosef, said, Kagon, the case is such, to Kible Alei Bechad. You accepted him as one. Kagon, to Kible Alei Bechad. You accepted him as one. And here Rashi and Tosfot debate the meaning of this line. Rashi says, "The Kibli Alei Bechad Dayana." He was accepted as one judge. V'afa gav tiika trei acharini b'hadei, and even though there are two others, along with this one invalid that was accepted as if he was valid, Amar Rav Meir Yachol Lachsabo. Rav Meir says that you could still, that which Rav Meir says that it's not binding and you can retract on your word and go back and require a new court case or a new shvuah, is even though it's only one dayan who was compromised. Even though there were two kosher, full, upstanding dayanim, nevertheless, even in such a case, Rav Meir would say Yachol Lachsabo. Kagon de Kiblei Alei Bechad. The case of the Mishna is even for Rav Meir, where you accepted him as only one of the three with two other fully kosher judges. Tosfot quotes Rashi, Piresh HaKuntris, Da'afilu hachi ka'amar Rav Meir Yachol Lachsabo, that Rav Dimi is saying that even in this case, you can retract. V'lo nihira, that doesn't make sense. De'kevan de l'rabusa nakte, since the statement of Rav Dimi is telling you how far it goes, l'rabuta, that even so, Rav Meir says his position, Havelei l'meimar lo tzricha, it should have said lo tzricha, that the case is not only with 3 invalids, but even if it was only 1 invalid, even so, it would be true that Rameir says Yachol Achsavo. To mean to Ka'amar Kagon, the language of Kagon is Mashma Dafka Ka'amar. Kagon usually would mean the Mishnah is limited to this particular case, not the Mishnah is even in this case. Kagon to Kibli Alei Bechad, that it would be the Mishnah is only talking about a case of 1 invalid. Al Kain Nira de Amil Tayu de Rabbanan Kai. Therefore, it seems that Rav Dimi was really speaking about Chachamim. The Chachamim say that the contract, that the deal is binding. The Dafka could go into Kiblei Alavei Bechad. The Mishnah, according to Chachamim, is limited only when you're accepting this invalid as 1 valid judge alongside 2 fully legitimate judges. The Chada L'Re'utahu. That's a case of Chada L'Re'uta, that there's 1 strike against the court. Ika Ka'ami Rabbanan De'eno Yachal Achsabo. That's when the Chachamim say that it still maintains the integrity of the Beit Din, and the decision is valid with 1 aspect of the court which is invalid, which they agreed they would accept. That still can go on as an actual court decision. Aval I Kiblei Alei Kebeitrei. But if you accepted this 1 invalid, let's say a father, as if he was 2 kosher judges, Yachol Achsabo, then you could retract on your agreement. After Rabbanan, and even the Chachamim would agree with the mayor. Kevan Diika Tarte L'Reyuta, because in that case you would have 2 strikes against the court. 1, that you're accepting an invalid judge, and secondly, you're counting him as 2. If you say that we'll follow 1 invalid judge and he'll count as if he's 2 valid judges, you can do that. But if you do that and you want to change your mind afterwards and say, I'm not following this decision, you have that right, because it's not a real legitimate court. It's too compromised to be considered a fully enforceable court decision, and you can retract on your decision afterwards. If you follow it, you have that right, but you have the right to retract and to say this was not a legitimate court decision. I want to go to a real Beit Din.